How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making a custom air intake for the Fiero to help improve airflow and to make the intake sound a lot louder, which sounds pretty cool in my opinion. So here is a sound clip of the before. This is what the stock Fiero intake sounds like. This flexible tubing so I can bend it to exactly the shape I need. So I can use that for the main part, and then I'm going to cut out sections of this tube and use them to clamp onto, so then there is going to be no leaks. This is 3 inches in diameter. So basically this is gonna fit onto here, this is gonna stretch out, and everything is gonna fit together just nicely. So what we're gonna have to do for this process is take off this wheel, remove the wheel well, and then we're gonna take off a whole water box assembly that's right inside of here, and then it should be pretty straightforward from there. So what we're going to do is jack up the rear of the car, and we're gonna get this wheel off. All right, so the wheel is off. So the next step is to take out this fender liner. So we have a few clips up here that may need to be pried out. Then we have a whole bunch of 7mm bolts holding it in. So let's get this out. All right, so the fender liner is out. It is all crusty and dusty in here, but this is the airbox that we're going to be removing. So we're gonna wanna remove a clip right here, and then you have some more 7mm bolts, and this whole thing should come right out. But before we do that, we're gonna have to take this cover off. So if you look closely, you can see there's some Phillips head screws holding it in. So we're gonna take that off, and then we're gonna see what's behind it. So now that the cover is off, you're gonna wanna take this rubber gasket out. So let's get that out. And there you go, it is out. After this cover and the gasket is out, we're gonna take out these 7mm bolts and this hose clamp, and this whole thing should come right out. So I got one of the bolts out, but the other one, the whole head is rounded off, so my wrench is just slipping. So the next thing I'm gonna try and do is, if you can see up there, there is a bolt up there. I'm gonna try and take that one out, and then hopefully this whole entire mount can come right off. I couldn't get that bolt out or the one that was way up there, but I did get it off. So, it's supposed to connect to that little tube up there, but my entire thing was not connected at all. So, that kind of explains a bit. So I am going to just try and take this out now. We'll see how it goes from there, I guess. Okay, so I just cleaned off this piece and put some new hose clamps on it. So now it won't get me completely filthy whenever I touch it. So now, since this piece came off, I'm gonna have to go into the trunk and take out the entire air filter and the rest of the air intake so we can get that connected like it's supposed to be. Okay, so we just got all of the air intake assembly out. So now there's nothing down here. It's all crusty, the gasket's completely gone. So what we're going to do is we're gonna completely clean all this stuff up. We're gonna replace this gasket. We're gonna take this out so we can connect the other piece to the bottom of it. Okay, so I just vacuumed a little bit in there. It's still very dirty, but It's better than it was before. Now that I have all of these components out of the air intake, I'm going to clean a bunch and probably repaint some. It'll look a lot better. So I'm basically rebuilding this entire air intake system. So let's get right to it. So I have some pieces clean that are over here, and then these ones I'm going to repaint, give them a nice coat of black, and then we're gonna be all ready to start reassembling. All right, so all of these things have a nice coat of paint on them. That has some nice rust repair on it. So while I let these dry, we're gonna go back inside and start mocking up where the pipe is gonna go. So I'm gonna try and remake a gasket like that using this. So I cut this, it has an adhesive bottom, and I can wrap this around. So on the bracket, I'm gonna wrap this around the bottom and hopefully form a good bond. So we'll see how that works, and I will keep everyone updated on how that works, if it works at all. So I found a different way to mount up an air filter, and I think we're gonna have to keep it. You know, don't you think it looks great? So everything is all cleaned and painted, so now it's time to start reassembling the air intake system. Okay, so now you can see this piece is going to the end. It comes around, there's plenty of clearance between the filler neck. It bends up, and then it goes into that, which goes into the stock Fiero thing. So, that is how it will look. I think I'm gonna try and fit the gasket around this. We'll see if that's enough. Just have to make sure that these tabs clip on in to the top part. Make sure it fits good over the seal. And then it clips in, and there you go. Now the gasket is back in place. So now for the tube, I'm going to sand the edges and get all the little metal burrs out, and then it'll be ready to go in the car. All right, so I got all the burrs off of the tube, and I vinyl wrapped it because I found some wrap and I got bored. All right, so the custom air intake is complete. So now let's get it installed on the car. So everything is in, it is all buttoned up. So it looks pretty good. So I'm gonna put the vent on, and then I'm gonna put the air filter and everything else back on. Okay, so everything is back on. Everything is all on top and all hooked up, and everything on the bottom is all hooked up and tight as well. So now it's time to put the fender liner back on and then the wheel, and we can drop the car down and see how it sounds. And the fender liner is back in. So let's get this wheel on and see how it sounds. All right, we are back on the ground and everything is all buttoned up. So let's hear what this thing sounds like. as you can hear, it sounds a lot louder, and it's definitely, you can definitely feel it sucking a lot more than it did before. All right, and that is a wrap for today's video. So, how do you think it turned out? This video was a little all over the place, so if it's a little confusing at points, I apologize. You can leave a comment and I will answer any question you have. If you're interested in using these same parts that I used, I will leave them in the description below. Just another cool little upgrade for the Fiero. So, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. See you later.